Merry Christmas, everybody. We're just about a week away from Christmas. Not even, right?
No,
It's
less than a week.
Six days away. And what better way than to celebrate Christmas than a short form Appleton team podcast where we're doing a kind of a fun little thing today, and we just thought of this, and we thought about, oh, what fun is that? We are going to ask Santa today on the podcast for 3 things on our wish list for each of our homes. And for anybody who's listening, we know that there's probably a bunch of things on your wish list for your house, because there are for our houses, right? There's always something. Mm-hmm. But we're going to pick 3 big ones. And the things that we're asking Santa for this year. We're probably not getting them, but
right.
you can still put them on your list, right?
Now that you're going to hear about mine, you can probably get those things for me, and same with you.
Yeah. And maybe if Santa doesn't get them for you, that your spouse can get them. Maybe your kids, your mom, your dad. It doesn't hurt to throw them out there.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Let's start with you. So if you had one thing, what's your top thing on your wish list for Santa this year for your house?
My top thing, well, I'm in a new house and it's a smaller house. So this is maybe something I would have to work towards figuring out where I could put it in. But I would love to have a room that was just dedicated to meditation, yoga, and filled with my books, a library.
That sounds really peaceful right now.
Exactly. That's exactly what I would love. Just a place for me to go, totally zen, and just enjoy the peace and quiet.
Oh, that's really nice. So I would say for my top, number 1 for Santa would be a brand new deck in my backyard. So I have a pretty big backyard, and we live on the creek, the south side of Chatham. And right now, it's an old deck, and it's original to the house. Whenever the owner put it in, I don't have a new house. My house was built in the '60s. This deck probably wasn't put in the '60s, but it could have been the '80s. And there are parts of it that are falling apart.
I was just going to say, it's not even safe to walk on it.
It's not super safe, but if we were to rip that out and put in a brand new deck, like something that's twice the size, and, even put like a gazebo or something out there, that would be so cool, because we've hosted things in the backyard before, like when we had the party for Blair in September. But if we had a big deck to host everybody on, that would be super cool. So I don't think Santa's going to bring that this year, but maybe in the future. Okay, number 2.
Okay, number 2 for me, and I don't even know if they make these anymore, but I would love a bathtub with jets. Had a hot tub once and didn't really use it very much, but the idea of a bathtub that has jets in it, I would absolutely love that. We just have a standard bathtub right now, and I love baths, so I think that would just be perfect.
Have you ever had one of those? Like, I'm trying to think of when we were kids, if we ever...
No. In our last house, we had a big tub. It was a big tub that was a nice soaking tub, but it didn't have the jets. I hate looking at houses that have the old jetted tubs in them, because I question those, but I would love, if they still make them, a new one with jets.
Very nice. Well, that kind of leads me into my number 2 on my list. Is my main floor bathroom still has the original tile that was put in when we first moved there, and we've been there for four years now. And so we've basically renovated every inch of that house besides the main floor bathroom, which would be kind of crazy to some people. They might think like, okay, that's one of the first things I would touch if the bathroom were to be, pretty outdated. And we did some budget type stuff in that bathroom, and we did have plans to fully get it and renovate it, but it just didn't work out at the time. And so we did some budget things, like we reglazed the tub because it was like purple or something. Like there were tiles that were in really, really good shape, right? And you see that in some older houses that they have really, really nice stuff, but it's out of date. So we were able to like reglaze that and make it white. And we did a new countertop. We put in some new sinks. It has double sinks, which Emily and I really have grown to enjoy, and we'll always want that now. But that bathroom is really the only thing that when I go into it, I'm like, you know, it would be so nice for this to be a brand new bathroom. And it's just right now, it hasn't been done. So Santa, if you're listening, if you can put a new bathroom on your sleigh this year, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And I'm sure that my wife would too. Okay, finally, what's number 3?
My last one would be a bubbling rock for my backyard. We put in a patio, we have a covered deck, but we don't have any really other landscaping or water features. And in our old house, we had a bubbling rock, and I just love the sound of flowing water. So that landscaping area in the backyard with a big, big bubbling rock would be exactly. I don't know if Santa could fit one of those on his sleigh.
Those are pretty heavy.
Might weigh him down a bit, but that's what I would love.
Okay. And number 3 for me would be, it's not something outdoors. It is something indoors that I remember when you lived over on the north side now, but when you lived in a different house on the north side, I had a setup downstairs for like a recording studio. Mm-hmm. And I used to be really into that. For people that know me, I play guitar, and I used to play in a band, and I play in my church band all the time, almost every week. So I'm playing guitar a lot, and I like to produce music. And so I miss that. And I really, really would love to have a dedicated space in my house where I could hang up my guitars and, get some studio equipment, maybe kind of put some sound dampening, those black sheets on the wall and stuff like that, and make it really, really official. I would really love to do that. And I think I do have the space in my house. I was going
to say, you have a space for that.
In my basement, I finished my basement last year. And there is a room that is kind of off to the corner. It does have a door to the garage, but it is kind of a room that has no windows or anything like that, but it is a finished space that ideally that could be used for a music room, because it is kind of the afterthought in the basement. And so I would love to do that there, but a dedicated music room. But I'm going to throw in an honorable mention too, and maybe you'll think of one too, because there's always plenty of things about your house and don't get me wrong, we love our houses. I love my house, and I know that my mom adores her house, but these are just fun little things that you could always have something more in your house that makes you love it even more. So now that my daughter she's 9 months old, about 9.5 months. And so she'll be a year old in March. And as she gets older and starts kind of when she starts kind of crawling around and walking and getting into things and playing with toys more often, I would love to have a dedicated, toy room or dedicated bookshelves for her, because Emily loves to read with her, and just to have a space where we can dedicate that for learning or for her to, develop and stuff like that. And so I would love to have a space specifically for my daughter to have fun. And right now it's just in the living room, and we do have a basement that she'll be occupying at some point. But if she had her own specific space for all her toys and stuff like that, I would just love that for her. So that's my honorable mention. Do you have one more?
Yeah, mine would be a closet organizer. I saw somebody down the street having somebody come in to do their closets yesterday, and I thought, that would be awesome, especially since we downsized. There's less closets, less space. So that would be it. But I think the one thing that we know, Dane, is you say we love our homes, but we know that you can't have everything all at once. And
It's a journey,
It
right?
is. Your home should always be evolving. And when you finish one space and then you think to yourself, okay, we'll move on to something else, and it never ends. I think it's always evolving.
So, Santa, if you're watching, if any of the elves are watching, those are the things that we really, really want. So please, and we know that if you're listening, that you probably have things on your list, just like we do about your house, that you would love for Santa to bring you this year. So if you have any of those things that you would love to share them in the comments. And also, if you can't quite get those things and you can't see how they would fit in your house, what should they do?
Maybe you need a new house.
Maybe you should call the Appleton team.
Yep, call the Appleton team. We can help you find the perfect house for you.
Well, this was a lot of fun, just talking about this stuff. And this is just a short little podcast today because we are heading into the holidays and we know that everybody's busy. We're busy getting gifts ready, baking, cooking, getting the house ready. So from our family to yours, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. We wish you all the best, and we will likely see you in the new year. Cheers.